the worst sign for shiny day. So, again, it's always involved with Scorpio, Cancer, and also Aries, Leo, and then Pisces. But let me just explain every bits of it. But the reasons why I said about Pisces on the last, Pisces is ruled by Jupiter. So Saturn and Jupiter, they are both neutral. Shiny Jeff is actually alright when it comes to Jupiter. But the thing, I wouldn't say that it is the most worst placements of Saturn. It just means that um, when it comes to Pisces, Saturn is a little bit confused, just a little bit confused. So the thing about Pisces, you want to see where is Jupiter placed. If Jupiter is strong in a chart, then Pisces itself isn't considered as the worst. So be mindful of that thing. It's not completely the worst, but it can be. Depends on the placements of Jupiter. And also, now let's talk about focus on the Scorpio sign. So why Saturn is the worst planet when it comes to Scorpio side? It's because Saturn itself is the Karakas of karma. Scorpio is the deepest sign that represents heavy karma. Now imagine this: the two planet and the sign. The sign itself is beholding that give you the karma itself. Now Saturn, the Karakas of karma, placed in the sign of the heavy karma itself. That is going to be extremely heavy, very heavy, very heavy. But the thing here, because Scorpio is ruling or longevity, it rules or physical like the health, the immunity itself, because there is connections between the longevity and the immune system. Now, Saturn is the planet that rules delays, discipline, and also um, obstacle. So, when Saturn placed in here, uh, the persons can live longer. I guess that's the good sign of it, right? You become live longer, but because of the aspect of Saturn's affecting your longevity, it delays the deaths itself. But again, remember this reading is general. Every aspect, every conjunction in a planet can alter this condition. But anyway, also if you running this Mahadashas of Saturn, having Saturn in Scorpio can be the most intense 19 years of your life. Should you fear this thing? Of course not. Of course not. Because there is always a lesson that you can learn from this placement. The most transformative sign is Scorpio. Now imagine the most transformative sign itself. And now Shani is placed in here. It is going to be huge transformation. When I say huge transformation, it is going to be difficult. Now, move to Cancer. So, who ruling Cancer? Cancer is the ruler is Chandra. Saturn itself have uh, enmity towards the moon, because if you're looking at the um, Sarisati, for example, it's basically Saturn is capturing the moon, the mind. The moon itself is the imagination itself. Saturn is the karaka against of the reality. Now, when you have Saturn placed in Cancer, it makes a person deal with the mother issue. The mother, you know, nourishment might not be good. Emotionally can be battling, but the thing here, what Saturn is doing to you, if you have Saturn in Cancer, it just means that Saturn's pampering you the hardest way with your own emotional, so that you can become a person who is very matured emotionally. But because the moon itself also represents mother and also the home itself. So when it comes to a relationship within the home, it can be a challenging for you, especially early in in life, and also during its Mahadasha, of course. Now, when it comes to Aries, Saturn is debilitated in here. He is weak. He is weak. Now, Aries and Leo, they are fire sign. So put together here, both Aries and Leo. Who ruling the signs of Aries? Mars. Saturn doesn't like Mars. It's aggravate Saturn. It's just making Saturn's angry, because Mars itself is just doesn't want to stay in one place. He want to move. He want to move to another place and another place. And Saturn is like saying, "No, you don't. You need to stay here and you do your work. You stick here." So what happened here? Um, the the energy itself is becoming strict, and you become extremely frustrated. Frustrated over what? You have to remember this. Aries is represents the physical body. It also represents the father. There is also connections between the fire, the triangles of Leo and Sagittarius. So when Saturn is in this sign of Aries, the relationship between the father can be a challenging for you. Every time when I see someone who has Saturn in Aries, I've done reading so much with people that have Aries in their Saturn in Aries in their chart. They always have problem with the father figure in their life. It's either their father or the authority figure. It's either the father itself is absent, or the father itself is not around. Meaning um, it's not around. It's dead. So it is difficult when you're growing up without any support from a father figure. And that's what Saturn is doing here in Aries. In Leo, though, it can create frustrations with romantic interest. It can delays the blessing of having a children. Imagine that. Um, this is the most when it comes to having a children and having Saturn in Leo. It's hard, very karmic placement. But it doesn't mean that um, you will not having children. You will. In Leo, it's just going to delay that blessing. So anyway, guys, this is just General reading, the worst sign for shiny day.